Wow, so Multiverse of Madness is an absolutely incredible Marvel movie. There are so many standout moments, incredible performances, and outstanding CGI visuals. I just think with this movie, there were just so many fan expectations with this film that unfortunately it isn't able to meet those expectations, but still is a really, really enjoyable Marvel movie. What is up, everybody? Hope you're having a brilliant day. So in this video we get to review Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, the long awaited and highly anticipated Doctor Strange movie sequel, which is going to truly rip open the multiverse and absolutely send it into madness, which it does do in this movie. And like I said, this is a brilliant movie and is such a great sequel to not only Doctor Strange but also the standout award-winning TV show WandaVision, and there are some awesome horror moments in this movie, some truly grief-driven moments as well, especially from the Wanda character. Absolutely incredible battles, non-stop action, loads of power struggles, and because it's the multiverse, you're really questioning whether or not you can trust the variant versions of certain characters. Are they trustworthy? Are they going to stab you in the back? I feel like they explore this really, really well in terms of certain events being different for different variant characters and the impact that this has then on those variant versions, which is really, really cool. However, I just think going into this movie, people were just expecting so much from this movie. For example, seeing some of the X-Men characters and just ultimately having loads of different multiverse characters in this movie. And unfortunately, it just isn't able to reach that unrealistic high bar that was on this movie. And so in some ways, you do leave this film a little bit unsatisfied, and it does kind of leave you wanting more, but maybe not in the best possible way. But like I said, that shouldn't take away from the fact that Doctor Strange and Wanda / Scarlett Witch are just absolutely wicked in this movie, and I'm going to be breaking it all down for you in this movie review. So we open up this movie with the America Chavez character traveling the multiverse, which kickstarts a series of events which leads to Wanda destroying the multiverse as she is trying so hard to find Billy and Tommy, her kids from WandaVision, and Doctor Strange trying to stop her, causing absolute destruction across the multiverse. Now, from a positives point of view, I absolutely loved the fact that this does feel like a movie-level sequel to the absolutely outstanding WandaVision series, and you can just feel Wanda's continued grief. Gosh, this character has just gone through so much, and you can really feel that in this movie, and she really does express it, and I absolutely love it. Even though she is the true villain in this movie, she does try to explain her perspective to Stephen Strange, and obviously you can't agree with all of the destruction and violence and death that she is causing, but I do like the fact that you can at least somewhat understand where she's coming from. And obviously she is a boss level character with unstoppable levels of power, and just seeing her cause absolute destruction to so many different places, so many different people, and so many different universes is just absolutely outstanding. And of course, the clue is in the title, traveling the multiverse, is just absolutely wicked. I wish we would have got more of this, but what you do get just looks absolutely incredible. And just like I said before, just seeing the different versions of different characters on different Earths is just so cool. Can you trust this character? Can you not trust this character? And as this movie is progressing, in a similar way to how Venom Let There Be Carnage was a true roller coaster from start to finish, this movie literally does start immediately with a brilliant action sequence, and it just doesn't stop right until the end. Absolutely wicked. I loved all of the sorcerer's battle against Wanda. Wanda is just one character that is, like I said, absolutely able to cause so much annihilation, and this character is just such a powerhouse, and you really can see that and feel that. And on that point, she is causing some wicked horror sequences to take place in this movie as well. This movie, of course, has director Sam Raimi at the helm, who is a true horror level mastermind, and he really does put his blueprint in this movie, and there are some wicked jump scare moments that Wanda is causing. But that's not the only thing that she is causing, as there is so much death and destruction in this movie. You do know that going into it, that Wanda is going to have a bit of a killing spree, but God, you don't expect it to be as massacre-based as she does do in this film. And it's a true comics book love letter, this movie. I feel like it really does reward all of the comic book fans, as there is just so much wicked stuff that only comic book superfans will get. And it doesn't feel like a typical squeaky clean Marvel movie. I love that this movie, as well as the Moon Knight series, really is delving into a much darker space for the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and it's just absolutely welcome and just works so brilliantly. However, from a negatives point of view, they are trying to do a lot in this movie. And to some extent, you could argue that, you know, because they do so much, do they do any of it well enough? I mean, that is a little bit harsh. Sam Raimi has said that he had to cut about 40 minutes from this movie. And you can just feel that if they had added that into it, would have just made it so much better. Because they do so much and they pack in so much into this movie that it just needed a bigger runtime. Especially like the finale of Moon Knight. That could have easily been double the length. And I feel like this movie as well could have extended so much to really unpack and explore everything a little bit more. It does feel a little bit choppy in parts, and of course there were massive reshoots with this movie, and you can see and feel that in this film as well. Also, we have to talk about the massive expectations that fans had going into this movie. People were just expecting to see everybody from Marvel's past. For example, Daredevil, Ghost Rider, all of the Marvel TV characters, all of the X-Men characters, and of course we do have a few cameos in this movie, but nowhere near as many as people were expecting going into this film, and so to some extent it does feel a little bit disappointing, and like I said, a little bit unsatisfactory. Also, the WandaVision series just explored Wanda's grief so brilliantly, and I just feel like they don't have as much emotional connection in this movie. She is just suddenly becoming a villain at the start of this film, and I would have loved to have seen her journey a little bit more as well. It would have actually been nice to kind of see her partner up initially with Doctor Strange and then suddenly be revealed as the true villain behind everything. That would have been quite nice. I just feel like they rushed also the arc in which she is just suddenly turned into a villain. And I just would have loved to have seen a little bit more of all of the different characters as well. For example, a little bit more of Stephen Strange, a little bit more of Mordo, a little bit more of Christine Palmer. I mean, what you do get is really, really wicked. But like I said, I just wanted more from it, which you could argue is a good thing because it does leave you wanting more. But I just feel like if they had given you more, this movie would have been even better than it was. So from a cast and characters point of view, this movie is just untouchable. They have got a brilliant cast in this movie, and they just play all of their characters in this film in particular just so well. So let's go through them one by one. So first up, of course, we have the incredible Benedict Cumberbatch, who does such a good job as Stephen Strange and Doctor Strange. He is just commanding the stage so brilliantly, and he gets to play a number of different variant versions of Stephen Strange in this movie, and you can just feel that Benedict Cumberbatch is just loving this opportunity, and then he just rises to the occasion so brilliantly. He just plays all of these different aspects of this same character just so brilliantly, and this character is just so good. Absolutely love his dry humor, love his powers. He is just such a brilliant character now. That is easily maybe one of the best characters that Marvel has at the moment. Not only is he incredibly powerful, but is just also a great emotional led character as well. And he is just interacting with pretty much every single character so brilliantly, and he just leads from the front so effortlessly and just carries this movie absolutely brilliantly. Next up, of course, we have Elizabeth Olsen, who is so good as Wanda and Scarlet Witch. Of course, she is now powered up to the Scarlet Witch level and is the true villain of this movie, causing absolute destruction. And Elizabeth Olsen from the WandaVision series has just been catapulted to be also one of the best and most beloved characters in the MCU, and for good reason, because A, she is an absolute powerhouse, but also B, you can also just see where she is coming from, and we've really been with her across all of the true grief that she has had to experience across her run in the MCU. For example, the death of her brother, the death of her husband, the death of her kids, just absolute destruction that this character has gone through, and is now just using this and channeling her grief and being a true woman on a mission. And like I said, she is a true powerhouse of a character and is just causing so much death and destruction, and is just pretty captivating as a character. And of course, at the end of WandaVision, we got to see that she is becoming this prophesized mystic being, and you really get to see that going into a much deeper level as well in this movie, and explored on a true movie level basis, which is just done so brilliantly. And like I said, Elizabeth Olsen is equally able to command the stage and just bounces off Benedict Cumberbatch's Doctor Strange character so brilliantly. And I love the sequences in which she is calling a lot of other different characters hypocrites, and like I said, she is just not afraid to use her superpowers in this movie so brilliantly. Next up, we have America Chavez entering into this world, and she is traveling across all of the different multiverses. Her power set looks really, really cool, and to some extent this movie also serves as her origin storyline, and I already can't wait to see this character again in the future. Next up we have Benedict Wong, who is back as the Wong character. He has pretty much been in so many of the recent Marvel movies and TV shows. I absolutely love this character, and Benedict Wong just plays him so brilliantly. We also have Rachel McAdams reprising her role as Christine Palmer from the previous movie, and she's got a lot more to do in this movie. I believe the contractual requirement to get Rachel McAdams back in this movie was that she wanted to play a much bigger part in all of the action sequences, and she does do that in this movie really, really well. We of course have got the cameos, even though we would have wanted a lot more cameos, especially considering this is a multiverse movie. The ones that we do get are absolutely wicked. So from a cast and characters point of view, even though we would have wanted a few more cameos, the Illuminati and the main lead characters in this movie are just absolutely phenomenal. So from a visuals point of view, they are literally out of this world, no pun intended, quite literally outstanding, and I absolutely loved all of the non-stop action in this movie, and all of the powers just looked absolutely unbelievable. All of the different characters have some incredible power-based sequences, and all of their movesets, all of their fight sequences were just looking so fantastic. And then of course we have all of the universes that they are traveling through. The only main time that you get to see a number of different universes is when Doctor Strange and America Chavez are just traveling for the first time through all of the different universes. I wish we would have got to experience all of the different universes a little bit more, but that being said, all of the different universes that you do go to do look absolutely outstanding. And of course this movie was made and filmed during COVID, but you would never even think so, as it just looks so fantastic, and it would look as if it was made pre-COVID, as it's just got such incredible CGI. It never ever feels like they are just in front of a green screen, as you are totally immersed into everything. And so from a cinematography point of view, it just is absolutely spectacular. So from a comparisons point of view, let's first look at the multiverse movies, which of course we have to compare it to the most recently released Spider-Man movie, No Way Home, which was another multiverse movie, which also featured the Doctor Strange character. And I have to say, No Way Home was a lot stronger than Multiverse of Madness, even though the cameo numbers in that movie were only a couple of different Spider-Man characters and a couple of villains. It was just so much better, so much more structured, so much more coherent, so much more emotional, and I just feel like it was a lot more gripping as well. And what you do get was just absolutely incredible in that movie. And even though there were massive expectations with that film, I do actually feel like it was really successful in meeting those expectations. And whilst this movie did also have some emotional sequences, had some awesome fight sequences, had some incredible moments for sure, I just feel like it wasn't able to match the expectations in the same way as No Way Home was. However, that being said, as far as sequels go, this movie was absolutely brilliant, so much stronger than the first Doctor Strange movie, and also a lot stronger than Iron Man 2, Thor 2, and also Captain America 2, which I feel like was a really, really wicked movie as well. But I would say, you know, Multiverse of Madness is a lot stronger than that as well. And you have to also compare it to WandaVision and What If. I would say WandaVision and What If maybe are on the same level as Multiverse of Madness, as those two shows were just absolutely outstanding. But of course, you know, Multiverse of Madness, whilst it didn't necessarily meet the massive expectations that were on this movie, it is still a really great movie, especially from a comparisons perspective. So overall, with Multiverse of Madness, you know, this movie had massive expectations, but I would say, you know, it was really worth the wait. It was a really, really enjoyable movie. Absolutely loved watching it from start to finish. It just breezed through so quickly, which is a good sign, as we were really enjoying it watching this movie. And I just feel like all of the sequences are absolutely brilliant, all of the characters are wicked, all of the visuals were absolutely outstanding. Absolutely loved all of the multiverse sequences. Loved the true comic book fan love that this movie was giving. The Illuminati were really, really wicked, and all of the sequences with Wanda just being this unstoppable powerhouse. All of the horror sequences were absolutely really, really cool too. And even though I wanted a little bit more from this movie, I am really, really excited about the possibilities of what could take place in the future. And so for all of those reasons, I'm going to give Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness a massive 7.5 out of 10. Now I'd love to hear what you thought of this movie, so please let me know in the comment section below. Otherwise, I look forward to seeing you in my next video.